Hello, you guys. Welcome back to the Patreon. I am a wash and go shawty today. Like, it's giving very like, hey, black queen. Like, I don't know. Like, a hotep will yell at me across the street. Like, I don't know. It's giving very much that. But, like, it's day, like, really one of the wash and go. So it always gives kind of Jerry curl. Anyways, let's get on into what we're going to talk about. Today's the Kevin Samuel is dead episode. Y'all really thought Kevin Samuels was going to die and I wasn't going to come on Patreon and give you guys a video about it. Y'all really thought that was going to happen. Never that. Kevin Samuels is dead. And here is the thing. I don't feel the need to get on the internet and like jump for joy that Kevin Samuels is dead, because I spent a huge part of Kevin Samuels' short stint on the internet being popular ignoring that man. I have not seen anything beyond clips of Kevin Samuels. If it wasn't for the outrage that Kevin Samuels like evoked in people, I would not know who Kevin Samuels was. Like, I just simply do not know that man. Saw that man across the street, wouldn't say no. I don't know that man. I do not know that man. So I don't feel the need to discuss that man in death in a public forum, because I rarely talked about that man in a public forum when he was on the earth. When he was living with the living, I barely talked about that man on a public forum. So I just do not feel the need to spend my days talking about that man in his death, because that's what we always told Kevin Samuels, right? We always told Kevin Samuels that the legacy that Kevin Samuels is building is nothing. He's not building anything of value. And when he's no longer here or no longer popular, what else does he have? That's the thing that everyone who commits to shock value, who commits to being nasty, who commits to just making a platform off of absolutely ridiculousness, that's what they always run into. They have nothing to show for what they feel they have given so much to. And that was always going to be the issue with Kevin Samuels. Kevin Samuels was not building anything that could last. He was not building anything that could live beyond him. Not in a positive way. Not in a positive way. Kevin Samuels' entire existence was in being Kevin Samuels here and the now and talking shit here and the now. But like, once you're not there to pop your shit and you're a dead man, what do people have on to? Even your greatest supporters don't have anything to hold on to, because you did not give them anything of value. Like, even the people who live by the code of what Kevin Samuels was preaching, what do they have to hang their head on? Let's say Kevin Samuels did everything that he did in the best of intentions. He really wanted to help black people. What community did he build for them? What community did he build for them? He did not build community with these people. He made fun of these people. He belittled these people. He had only a certain amount of only a certain type of person is allowed to sit in a certain type of area. So there was no community built. There was no welcoming built. So like, what do these people hold on to? What legacy do these people bring forward with you? There's no community. There was no sense of community. And that's why we always said what Kevin Samuels was building could not help black people, because what black people need the most is community. That's what everyone needs the most in this life. You need a community. You need a safe space to fall. That's what lives beyond you. What lives beyond you is creating community, good or bad. That's the thing. The community don't have to be good. Bad people create communities all the time that lives beyond them. Look at the fact that Confederate soldiers have statues everywhere. They built community. They built community with a bunch of nasty people, and it lived for. But Kevin Samuels was what's even the word? Cheap. He couldn't even build community with the foolishness that he was spreading, because maybe he just didn't have time. Who knows what Kevin Samuels' bigger picture was, but he never even created community in the thing that he was doing. So it's like, there's nothing to move Kevin Samuels for. All Kevin Samuels got is a litter of kids who are under people's TikTok saying we need to stop talking about their daddy. A mama who was like, oh my gosh, I found out he was dead through social media. All he got is like the people he already had. But like, he doesn't have community. He didn't build community beyond that, because when your common interest between you and somebody else is just pulling people down, y'all never be in community. Y'all will never be in community. I don't believe the Kevin Samuels supporters shared the same values. I believe that Kevin Samuels and his supporters shared a need, a yearn to bring other black people down, to make them feel better about themselves. And that doesn't create community. Tearing down another person or other people in order to make yourself feel better, it's not a community made. Like, community is built on mutual support, mutual strength, having strength in number. If that is not what Kevin Samuels built. Kevin Samuels built a gossip group. He built a bunch of people coming together and talking shit. That's what Kevin Samuels built. So when you're not there to talk shit, it's on to the next person who is willing to talk shit with you. You ever have someone who y'all are like friends, or you seen a group of people who the only reason why they are friends is to talk shit about someone else, and then the minute one of the people or one of the person in the group becomes cool with the person they talk shit to, they're no longer allowed in the original group because they were never a community. They were just people who got together to talk shit about somebody. That is not a community made. And Kevin Samuels did not create a community. Therefore, there's nothing to hold on to. It's why we're on to the next news, because there's nothing we have to fight. Like, okay, Kevin Samuels is going, now we need to tear this down. What did Kevin Samuels have to tear down? Kevin Samuels got on Instagram Live every week and talk shit. Like, there's nothing to tear down. There's simply nothing to tear down. He is one of many insults. That's the thing. That's why everyone's like, there'll be another Kevin Samuels, because he didn't create a unique community that was special to him. There's nothing to miss. There was somebody else who was saying even worse shit than Kevin Samuels was saying. That's just it. There was nothing special. There was no thesis statement. It was. And so I look and I'm just like, I don't feel the need to talk about, I don't think I send off one tweet about Kevin Samuels being dead, and haven't and won't, because y'all want to talk about it. So, and like, I'll talk about it with y'all, but like, what is there to discuss? Like, this man made a living off of belittling people. And that's where I want to begin. Kevin Samuels made a living off of belittling people. And it breaks my heart, but I can't have too much sympathy because they nasty. The black people who felt that was their community. What is it to say that after a long day at work, you want to sit back with a glass of wine and hear this man talk shit about the black community? Because he didn't only talk shit about black women. He talked shit about black people as a whole. What does it say that after a long day, you want to go home and hear someone talk badly about everyone you're in community with? Because it's not lost on me. The people who watch this stuff also don't fit the criteria that Kevin Samuels is talking about. Kevin Samuels himself doesn't fit that criteria. So what does it say that you want to sit back and listen to this stuff? It says that you in real life are so beaten and abused and belittled and bullied, you get the smallest satisfaction out of seeing him bully other people too. You feel like you're not shit. So hearing him say other people aren't shit, because the work's already been done on you, right? You already feel like you're horrible and no one's ever going to want you, and you're too fat and you're too poor and you're too old. You already feel that way. So you want other people to now be conditioned to feel the same way you feel. Black men, you already feel like your job isn't enough. You can't get the baddies that you want. The women that you want don't want you. You're never going to find a woman like this. So hearing them say, hey, the rest of these niggas can't get that either, makes you feel good. Furthermore, You already feel like the women that you are in community with should want you should want you. You're a prize. Hey, I'm a prize. What? These women out here ain't giving me the time of day, da da da. So when you come home from your job in the factory, and you sit and open your computer or phone and listen to Kevin Sam, you like, yeah, these fat bitches better know it don't get no better than me. I don't have to want them. And it makes you feel good. It makes you feel like you have picks. You have picks. You have picks. And that's what it is. It's either one, you want people to feel just as bad as you, or two, you want to get in a pissing contest for crumbs. You want Kevin Samuels to say you are slightly better than other people. So if you're a skinny black woman, you're better than a fat black woman. If you 32, you better than the 35-year-old woman Kevin Samuels said was damaged goods. You're better than that. If you work in the factory, you better than the nigga with no job who's sitting on the couch. If you got a college degree, you better than the man working in the factory. You see how it's a pissing, for what? What are we winning here? What is the prize here? What is it in a world, like the people who sit back and say, all Kevin Samuels wanted you to do is be more realistic about your prospects? Why? Why so badly do you want people to be humbled? Ask yourself that. I don't get any glory. And let's take men, for example, because you know, I don't care if the man who works in the factory feel like he can get a baddie. If you want a baddie, by all means, go get you a baddie. It don't make me nothing, the man in the factory wanting a baddie. If that's what you so desire, why does that matter to me? And you might go get them. Do y'all see all the YouTube girlies? All of them with a nigga without a job. You find a YouTube girlie you like, I promise you in 3 months, she gonna move in a man in her apartment that don't got no job. So let's not act like the baddies out here with the highest of standards. So guess what? You could go get, what does that make me? It doesn't make me anything. The stranger things happen every day. That 35-plus-year-old black woman can find the love of her life on any given day. It's possible. Stranger things have happened. That fat woman that you're belittling can find the love of her life on any given day. That man who don't got a college degree can come up on a hustle on any given day. Stranger things have happened. So what is it to which you get to decide if people deserve the life that they desire? Why? What in you makes you want to see that? To see that? To see someone tell people that they don't deserve to live the life in which they desire. And let's say for the sake of saying that they won't get it. They won't get it. Who does it hurt if they try? So they should settle? You don't get to decide when someone should settle. When they should no longer want the thing that they want. You don't get to decide that. You just simply do not. But the game is just in belittling people. It's belittling people in order for you to feel better about yourself. You don't have to sit up and lie to me and say Kevin Samuels just trying to make people more realistic and he's trying to help black people move forward and help women stop being so bitter and get a partner. And you don't have to lie to me. You don't have to tell me that's why you watch this. You watch this to see black women get humbled. You watch this. You're hoping that when Kevin Samuels says 35-plus-year-old black women are damaged goods, that'll hopefully trickle down to you. Those 35-year-old black women will no longer have fucking standards and they'll date you. When he calls a fat woman nasty or whatever he's been saying about fat women, you're hoping that, okay, so now all these black men will stop focusing on the fat women. And now I get points. Now I'm going to get picked. See, I'm not fat, so I get picked now. You see how nasty that is? You see how nasty that is? You see how nasty that is? But wherever there's misogyny, there's gonna be my people. Wherever there is misogyny afoot, you are gonna see my brothers and my sisters every single time. The Kevin Samuels reign just proves just how in bad shape black people are in so many ways. In so many ways. My people, we not doing good. I could get up here and blame black men for it. I could. But then I would be lying. Black women called into that show. Black women listened to Kevin Samuels. And Kevin Samuels' death, the biggest thing I learned is the reach that Kevin Samuels had. If you in the past 2 weeks have been in conversation with a black person, somebody has brought up Kevin Samuels. Did you know Kevin Samuels died? Did you know who Kevin Samuels was? That nigga had reach. So what does that say about my people? That in behind closed, people who I never thought should be watching Kevin Samuels. Like, what? Why are you watching Kevin Samuels? Know who Kevin Samuels is. And that's scary. Because you ask yourself, what is the regular black man gaining from Kevin Samuels? It shows you the flaw in people's character. What is the regular black woman over the age of 35? Because that's really who's been watching this stuff. Kevin Samuels has a coalition of 30-plus-year-old black people. That's really his audience. What are they getting from this? It makes you look at the person funny. What about Kevin Samuels did you enjoy? And the answer is always the same thing. The 30-plus-year-old black women enjoyed him talking shit about other black women. They did. I'ma say you enjoyed hearing him talk shit about other black women. Sisters to the front, we gotta discuss how y'all enjoy seeing other black women be bullied. We have to discuss it. How y'all enjoy seeing other black women be bullied. Not even though you know your day gonna come. Your day gonna come. He gonna come for you. But you just enjoy the few seconds in which it's not your day. It's not your day. And so listen, I don't have to pretend y'all was up there watching it because you like seeing other black women get bullied. Black men, you love seeing broke men. If you wasn't broke, you love seeing them be humbled. You loved it. And you definitely loved him talking shit about black women. You did. And that's what I want y'all to admit. That you enjoyed seeing the mess. You enjoyed the nastiness of it all. I refuse to be gaslit. I refuse for people to act like they enjoy his content in good faith. They was over here taking notes and wow, I'ma really bring myself up. No. It's the same reason why I like Wendy Williams. I want to see her talk shit. I don't care about the fact checking. I don't care. I'm here to talk shit. Right? That's why you watch Kevin Samuels. Kevin Samuels wasn't trying to bring up the black community. He wanted to talk shit about black people, and you enjoy seeing people talk shit about black people. And here's the thing. If Kevin Samuels let's follow you up on this. Kevin Samuels is trying to improve the black community. Let's say that's true. Let's follow you on this. You don't believe black people deserve better than Kevin Samuels? Why in every movement that involves uplifting black people via respectability politics is the message served so harshly? The message is always served so nasty. It's always served in this Bill Cosby-esque way of y'all are thugs, y'all are hood rats, y'all are nasty. I can't believe y'all live like this. Why is the message served so disgustingly to black people? Is that what you feel black people deserve? Let's say you believe Kevin Samuels had the best of intentions. This what you believe black people deserve? You believe black people deserve to be told in this manner what they not? Ask yourself that. That's why I say you could not have been watching this with the best of intentions. Because there's no way you can care about black people, of black women, trans people, none of it, and believe this what they deserve. They deserve to be talked to that way. Separating people into high value and low value. Do y'all know how nasty that is? To decide who in society is worth anything? That's nastiness. So you believe that's how black people deserve it? If Kevin Samuel was actually trying to help black people, and he could have kept the same message. Don't you believe there's a nicer way to deliver the message? Like I said, if he cared so much about black women not being with broke men, don't you think he should have started communities to get black men jobs? Even in his fat phobia, if he cared so much about black women not being fat, wouldn't he have created communities that would help black women not be fat? Like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Even in his wrong message, he could have been kinder. But that's not what you came for. You didn't come. That's why I know y'all been lying. And that's why I've never followed y'all up. Of the people in my sector of the internet, I probably talked about Kevin Samuels the least. I did that podcast video on YouTube saying we need to tear down the podcast industrial system. And I think that was the first and last time I talked about Kevin Samuels on my YouTube channel. Because I always knew y'all full of shit. Y'all's full of shit. I put it all in the same category of insults. Like, y'all all are an issue. Kevin Samuels not just this individual issue. It's a huge issue that dates back a long time of black people wanting to see other black people humbled. Like, nothing is new under the sun. The people who are directly my ops, there's nothing new under the sun with them. They regurgitate the same exact movements, the same exact ideas, and put it in a prettier package sometimes and be like, ooh, new movement. And just like Kevin Samuels, some of them die. Some of them get exposed for this. Some of them scamming. And they go away. Just for in 2 years, another movement to come. Like, it's the same stuff over and over again. And I will be a fool to keep following it up. It will be a fool's errand for me to keep following it up. Because it's the same shit over and over and over again, right? So until we find a solution to that bigger issue, I can't attack the little minions. The little minions that come every few months. Like, I can't. And that's what Kevin Samuels was. Because like I said, like, you're entertaining a false premise. These people know that they are not watching Kevin Samuels because he's trying to uplift the black community. They're watching Kevin Samuels because he talks shit, and watching people talk shit is fun. But this is where we diverge. It is never fun for me to see people belittle black people. It's never going to be the time of my life. It's just never. Even though Ken stands 10 toes down as a black feminist and all I care about is black feminist shit, it also does not bring me joy for him to be out here calling black men broke. It don't. That don't bring me joy. That don't bring me joy. Telling black men what they can't have because they don't have this, that don't bring me joy. You watch it because it brings you joy. Because it makes you feel good. And you hope, the women who watch it, hope that one day they will fit this mold of what these type of men want. You won't. They'll keep moving the goalpost. He already told you that black women aren't desirable. They'll keep moving the goalpost. You'll never fit it. You'll never fit it. A lot of people always like to say, why don't the black women who watch this content and the black men who also watch this content, why don't they date? And my friend, you fucked up the game. You don't understand the game. The black men who watch this content don't want the little pick-me's. The reason why pick-me's are not with the men who want pick-me's is because the men don't want the pick-me's. Yes, if the pick-me's had their choice, they would be with the little men who enjoy this content. But guess what? The game of misogyny is not a game of women will ever benefit from. Will ever benefit, especially black women. Will never benefit from it. You will never benefit from it because they will never choose you. They're engaging in this because they want to distance themselves from you. So the reason why the Kevin Samuels women and the Kevin Samuels men don't come together and make Kevin Samuel babies is because they don't want the women. They don't. They don't. And so the women, I'm looking at you, sisters. You're engaging in a game with an opponent who don't even have respect enough to play it fair with you. To play it fair with you. It does not matter how you change yourself, how you do this, how you do that. They want baddies. They want the baddies to do what you do. That's what they want. They want the baddies to do what you do. They want to browbeat someone into submission. And you're already doing it. You're not their audience. You're not their audience. Ew. Ew, they're disgusted by you. Ew. I don't want you. I know you cook, clean, and wash everything, but I don't want you. Ew. You do all that because you got to. I want the bitches who don't have to do all this to do it for me. That's what they want. And that's why we look at women crazy who are pick-me's. Because it's like, it's a game you'll never win. It's a game you'll never win. It is designed for your failure. It is. It is. And so that's why the Kevin Samuels women and the Kevin Samuels men just don't come together and leave us the fuck alone. Because they don't want them. And you don't want to be mean when you tell them this. But like I said, old game with even older tricks. Like, it's always been that way. It's always been that way. Misogyny has always been that way. It's always been that way. Like, nothing changes. Nothing. There's women who have no problem doing all the shit Kevin Samuels say do. They just don't want them women. They want the baddies. Way. We'll leave this on. The people upset that people are happy that Kevin Samuels kicked the bucket. Kevin Samuels, in my sector, as a black feminist, is directly an op. He is directly the opposition. Directly the opposition. How do you expect people to feel when they ops drop dead in the middle of the week? How do you expect people to act? Of course they gonna be happy. Like what? What? Not my light work just dropping dead. Like what? What? Like, of course they're happy. And they have no reason to not. But that, once again, is the game of misogyny. Even though this man sat up on the internet and said, God knows what to any person he could, people still expect you to respect black men and death. And that's the problem we've been having in the black community for so long. This idea that black men should always be upheld in the black community, no matter what they do. No matter what they do, how they treat people, what legacy or lack thereof they leave behind, they deserve respect. That's for fools. That's for fools. You get treated how you came. How you came. And that's the thing. Kevin Samuels, y'all told us all this time, Kevin Samuels don't care about our feelings. He don't care. So why should he care now? He definitely shouldn't care now. He definitely shouldn't care what the living got to say about him in death. He didn't care when he was with us. Come on. Come. If I drop dead, pray it don't happen, child. I do not care what a particular side of the internet got to say. I don't care what white people got to say about me when I drop dead. I don't care what incels got to say. I don't care what misogynists got to say. I don't care what the femininity girls got to say. I don't care. Like, they're direct ops to what I believe in. Do you think I truly give a damn what they have to say. So Kevin Samuels would not give a damn what I got to say about him being dead. That would make no sense. That would make no sense. He didn't care about what I had to say when he was alive. You can't care so deeply about what your legacy is amongst people you directly went against when you was... They don't make no sense. They don't make no sense. But the reason why you want people to care so deeply, is because you know yourself Kevin Samuels didn't leave a legacy. You know yourself that Kevin Samuels didn't leave anything behind. So you want people who didn't engage with him or only engaged him negatively to respect him because it's all he got. It's all he got. It's all he has. It's like when a rich person loses all their money and then people are like, but, you know, he still did this. It's like, we don't give a fuck. He's not rich anymore. Kevin Samuels' whole thing was being alive. The glory in Kevin Samuels is that he's alive, right? He's here to pump. He's here to say, you can only sell snake oil when you're alive. But if he's no longer alive, what else he got? If you know, if the rich person who was over here, I got Lamborghinis, I got this, no longer is rich, you a pony with no trick. Where's the trick? There's no trick. There's nothing. What? You just a nigga now. You ain't got no money. Kevin Samuels' whole existence is in being alive. It's in tormenting. It's in bullying. So if he ain't here to bully and torment, we gonna flip and reverse the Instagram lives he already did? Like, there's nothing else to hold on to. He's gone. He's gone. There's no legacy outside of what he because he built himself on being here. On being here. And being here. And being here. The reason why Toni Morrison is still quoted, Bell Hooks is still quoted, Gloria Naylor is still quoted, Malcolm X is still quoted, Martin Luther King Jr. is still quoted, is because they built something that goes on beyond them. They always knew the legacy was in death. They created what they created for people who come behind them to continue the work. That was the purpose. Kevin Samuels did not do that. Malcolm X does not care about what white people think of him. Martin Luther King does not care about what certain people had to say about him. Same with Toni, same with Bell, and same with Gloria. They did not care what certain people had to say about it because that wasn't their audience. But the name moves forward because the people who they were in community with, they built respect with. They built respect within a community. They built community. They created safe spaces for people who believe the same ideas as them. And that's why 100 years to come, the work will still be here. The message will still be here. And that's why I do not sit here and play the dozens with every insult who comes up on the web. Because they'll go. But the work I believe in has proof that it's everlasting. That it lasts. There is no proof that all of these communities I go directly against can stand. There's no proof. There is literally no blueprint that what they build stands. That's why every 10 years, someone claims to have invented something that somebody else was doing in 1940. Because there's no proof that it goes on and on and on. The theory that Bell Hooks put into writing, no one can co-opt because the work that Bell Hooks created is still here. The words that Toni Morrison wrote are still here and they're still going to be here. So you can't co-opt that. You can't turn that into a new movement. It's the reason why we say Harriet Tubman is the first feminist. Like, the work that she did transcends time. So you don't get to claim that you're the first black feminist because the real work, the people who really want to help black people, it lives on. So that's why I don't fret at the Kevin Samuels. I don't fret at every little person who gets on a podcast and talks shit about black women. There'll be another with Kevin Samuels, sure. And they'll go too. But you still have to focus on the work you believe in. So Kevin Samuels didn't build shit that lives on. A new nigga will come talking shit talking the same shit that Kevin Samuels talked, but he'll be nastier. And before you know it, it's almost like Kevin Samuels didn't exist. There's a lot of women making theory. Bell Hooks ain't shook. Gloria Naylor ain't shook. Toni Morrison ain't shook. Harriet Tubman ain't shook. Rosa Parks ain't shook. Because that's not the name of the game, right? You're building on blocks that have already been built to get to a higher purpose. Same thing with Malcolm. Same thing with Martin Luther King. You're building on work and you're continuously building on work. So it doesn't matter when the next person, it doesn't matter when a Zadie Smith comes along. It doesn't matter because she's building on work that black women already did. It doesn't matter. Because we're all fighting the same goal. But you people over there, y'all can't even be organized. Y'all can't even be organized. So how do I fight people who aren't even organized? The Kevin Samuels Coalition is not even organized. They're just trying to one-up each other for a couple dollars. They selling their soul for a couple views. Like, is this who I'm supposed to go up against? People who are fighting for AdSense money on the same fucking place where you can get AdSense money opening up toys and playing with slime? These are the people I'm supposed to be going up against? Fighting for a couple dollars? It's the same thing. Like what? The femininity movement is as strong as ever right now. But they on TikTok, like, telling you that Jack Harlow saved their life. Like, what, like, is this who I'm supposed to go up against? Like, it's ridiculousness. It's ridiculousness. Kevin Samuels ridiculousness. I don't feel the need to dunk on Kevin Samuels being dead because he was already dead to me. Like, I don't got nothing to say. That's the end of this video. This is going on far too long. That's the Kevin Samuels is dead episode. I'll see y'all next time in the Jack Harlow is full of shit episode that I'm gonna film sometime this weekend. I'll see you guys later.